Hi everybody, so it's been a while since I made a video. I do apologise. I don't know, I think I just got a bit nervous about working on this junk journal. It's still in exactly the same state that you saw it last, as in I just made the pages and they're all in here and I've done nothing to them. And I think I've been putting off doing it. I mean, I've been busy doing Patreon things, so I have been busy, but I think also there's a bit of me that's procrastinating a lot over this. And it's because I feel a bit like I'm out of my depth doing a junk journal that isn't Christmas. I've done 3 Christmas junk journals. I think I've done 3 on camera. I can't remember now. I've done 3 or 4 at home, personally. And there's a sort of a rhythm I get into with Christmas journals, because I do one day a page or two sides of the day, and usually I use like a prompt list, like a Christmassy prompt list, and I have all my themed stuff, and I have photos from every day to go in. So I sort of get myself into a sort of rhythm of recording, and obviously editing and uploading. And for this journal, I feel it's a bit looser. It's January. It's not January now, by the way, it's February. But if I say to myself, okay, this is going to be a January journal, or a winter journal, I still feel a bit like there's no I don't know, there's no sort of schedule that I can stick to that makes me feel like I know what I'm doing. So that's kind of my waffly explanation of why I haven't actually shared anything yet. I have collected ephemera, lots and lots of ephemera for January, and it's all a big mixture of things I've made, things I've drawn, things I've painted. A lot of it is things I've done for my Patreon. I've made quite a few things along a theme for Patreon in January. I chose a colour scheme from nature. I used like a vision board, and using those colours I designed some frames and pockets and all sorts of little bits and bobs, and I have photos and stuff. So I have a sort of a cohesive sort of theme. So I was thinking perhaps if I keep doing these monthly themes for Patreon, perhaps that I can do monthly videos, but then I don't want to do monthly videos for the junk journal because that's quite a long time, and only one video a month is a little bit I don't know. It's going to have to be a really long video. 2-3 hours long of me doing all of my January things. So bear with me while I work out a sort of a rhythm. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful if I did weekly videos, and at the end of every week I then got all of the ephemera and things from that week and did a few spreads and shared that with you. That's my ideal plan, and I'm going to work towards that, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get that done for you if you're interested to watch that. So I think, seeing as I'm now at the end of January, it's now February the 2nd, so I have everything for January assembled. I didn't take that many photos, to be honest, but I have photos and I have events and I have lots and lots of ephemera. I'm probably going to do, I don't know how many videos I'm going to do, you'll find out when I finish this. I won't do one big long video, I'll probably do a few videos to cover January, and then from February I'm going to try really hard to sort of do weekly videos for you. So let me know what you think about that, let me know if you're interested in watching them. And I think what I need to do is I just need to jump in and I just need to get started today. So I'm not going to give myself any rules or any pressure about what I'm going to do or which pages I'm going to use, and I'm just going to get going. So I'm going to have a sort of a rootle through my is that a word? It is now. Rifle. I'm thinking of rifle, I think, and root through and rifle through my a rootle. I'm going to say it. I'm going to rootle through all my things and sort of pick out some bits, and I'm just going to start sticking stuff down. And then once I've got January finished, I'll start sort of like a February series. So I hope that's interesting for you, and I hope you stick around to watch. My son told me off the other day because he said, "Mummy, why don't you say please subscribe and please hit like at the end of your videos?" He thinks I should do that. That's what proper YouTubers do, apparently. But I will say, if you do want to watch these videos and you do enjoy watching my junk journal videos, please subscribe, because then my son can stop telling me off, but also, it's nice to have the company while I'm doing them. So, yeah, subscribe if you want, obviously, and, you can click the like button if you like. I feel so weird saying that. Yeah, and let's get on with it. So first page is always the hardest, and I did struggle at the beginning trying to decide what to put on. But in the end I chose this photo that I'd taken on one of my morning walks of some dried hydrangea flower heads. And I'd used this image for my January Patreon as a sort of a colour reference. So the colours I chose for like January were kind of like faded grass colours, like oranges and orangey beiges, and sort of fawny colours, I suppose you might say, and then a sort of a mossy green. Yeah, so I'd kept all of these photos for inspiration on my notice board, my pin board, but at the end of January I took them all down because I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to do like a new colour scheme, a new theme for February. So it was really fun to be able to take all those pictures down off my notice board, and I can put them in my journal. So this journal's like a really, when I finish, it's going to be a really nice reflection of kind of, I suppose, like what I got up to creatively in January. So all of my Patreon things, all of my inspiration, all of my colour swatches, as well as things like photos from like daily life and things like that. So I'm really excited about doing this new junk journal. I know I'm nervous and it's taken me a while to get started, but I feel like it's taken me a few years to work out how I want to junk journal the rest of the year. Christmas, I know what I'm doing a little bit. I've had a bit of practice, like I said at the beginning of the video. But for the rest of the year, I've never really done it. And I've never been big on sort of memory keeping. And I'm not sure that I'm going to be like writing a lot in here. But I do love a good scrapbook, and I do love keeping things. And I love things like that you can just look at, images and things stuck down in one, and I like having it all in one place, like organized in one place. So this junk journal is going to be that for me. It's going to be just a really nice collection, like curated, of everything that happened in each month. So already on this page I've stuck down the photo, I've stuck down some actual hand-painted ephemera that I gave to some of my Patreons, some sticker designs that I did, like the little sun peeping up at the top, and that Japanese print. They were all like freebies that I gave away when people joined my Patreon in January. So if you're interested to see what kind of thing else I do, I'm going to put the link down below, so you can have a little look at what's going on Patreon. Yeah, so it's really nice for me to kind of get to use my own things as well. You know, I gave a lot of these as rewards to my patrons, and I kept copies of everything for myself, because obviously I was making things that I enjoy using and that I wanted to use. So I'm really excited to be able to use them myself now. And at this point I realised I've got so many teeny tiny bits, and I started to get a bit overwhelmed and thinking, well, how on earth am I going to use all of these little tiny pieces? Because I don't want to, yeah, they're all over the desk. But I sort of think, well, this page is done, so I'm going to get the paint out and sort of add a bit of paint in. And I went on with a sort of a browny colour, like at the beginning, like sepia, and then I realised it looked a bit too like vintagey, and that's not really the style I'm going for. So I added in a little bit of sort of pinky, reddy pink to sort of cheer the page up a bit, and I'm really happy with how it looks. Okay, so that's the first page done, and I'm feeling a bit like better now, a bit more confident, like it's like when you start a new notebook and the first page is blank and you just feel a bit like, oh my lord, what do I do? So I feel a bit better. I didn't really think about it too much, try not to think, just whack stuff on, no particular order. I'm not going to be doing this in an order, like it's not going to be like January the 1st, January the 2nd. It's just all of the stuff that I gathered and made and photos from January are just all going to be on the pages in no particular order. But I do want to keep January together and then February together and March together, obviously. So I'm now thinking to myself how to proceed, because I think if I carry on like this, is going to be, I don't know how many pages I'll use. I'm wondering whether I might, rather than just go to the next page and cover that page, I might get all the larger pieces, like things like this one, or maybe my pockets, things like that, and pop through, just go through the pages and just pop them in at random points, sort of like prepping pages, like I would prep for December Daily. So then once all the larger pieces in, I might start putting the medium ones in, like adding the photos in, like small things, and sort of work my way down in size, and then at the end pop all the little tiny bits on. So I'm sort of working on several pages at once. I think I'm going to try that next, and the only thing is I don't know how many pages to do, but I guess perhaps I'll just pop one big thing on each page and then see how many pages that gets me to, and then I'll go back to the beginning and start popping the medium things in. Okay, thinking out loud. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be my plan. So I'm starting off with this gorgeous illustration by Aiko Fukawa. She does gorgeous illustration, Japanese illustrator. And that was printed on sticker paper, so that was easy just to stick down. This is a little bit of scrap paper that I've made, scrapbooking paper that I designed. Some sort of bits from my sketchbook, some doodles. That actually doodle, the flower one is actually from it's actually from last year, at the end of last year. One of my frames that my patrons got. I'm just using it like a little washi envelope I had lying around. Yeah, I'm just sort of randomly sticking in all the big bits that I can find. I just didn't even look at what I was taking out of the box. I just grabbed like the largest piece there was and just sort of worked my way down in size. And it took out a lot of the thinking process for me, and that really, really helped actually. I'm actually cutting around this fierce girl with a notebook because I thought it was a bit too, took over the page a bit too much, so she got sort of fussy cut. There's another Aiko Fukawa going in. Gorgeous, gorgeous pictures. So I'm not really paying attention to how many pages I'm using. I'm just sort of keeping going, turning onto the next page, turning onto the next page until I run out of the larger pieces. That scene on the right is from a Yorkshire tea box. I like to drink Yorkshire tea, and I finished the box this month, so I thought I'd put some of that in, a little reminder of England. This page on the left I wanted to cover up completely because that was just a reverse side of a piece that I liked. So I was quite happy to stick that gorgeous washi paper down. More pen swatches, paint swatches. More photos from my wall. I love the colour of that grass. So at this point I'm sort of getting into the swing of it, and I'm sort of enjoying it, because you really have to just like let go and not think too much, I think. Is the key. And just plonk things down. These are wrappers from some mochi, some Japanese sweets that I had at New Year. They come in these lovely little delicate wrappers, so I thought I'd stick a few of those in, because that's like a New Year January theme. All auspicious things, all good luck things. Including, you can see that's a nice red koi fish there, a koi carp. Some of them I didn't use, I wasn't able to use them all, but I just put in the ones that I thought were quite cute. That postcard, I think my mum sent me that one. It's actually a painting of the Malvern Hills, which is near Worcester, which is where I was born. And it was, I think it's called January something or other, I can't remember. But I stuck it in so that I could still read the artist's name and the name of the picture. Those are some photos I'm just going to tip in later on, because I couldn't get a big enough space to stick them in, so they're going to be a tip in. Now at this point I thought, oh, I'm going to start using some frames. I designed some frames, like I said, for my Patreon in January. And I made quite a few extras, and I wanted to try putting like little photos inside them. So this is a picture of my mum when she was younger, and it looks so much, she looks so much like my son actually. But it's such a sweet picture. So I thought I'd experiment with that one first, and the frame is actually on sticker paper, so it's quite easy to stick down, and I think it looks so cute. She looks lovely in it, so I'm really pleased with that effect. So I end up grabbing all of the little photos that I've got, and I'm just going to start trying to put them into frames. So some of these frames are ones that I gave away, like I said, on Patreon, and some of them are just sort of extras that I had. Yeah, so I end up doing a lot of cutting and sticking and putting photos in frames, and it gives a really nice effect. So there's not too much else to say about this technique, so I'm going to stop wittering and chatting now and just leave you with me playing around with frames, and I'll be back at the end to say bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I've gone off on a really big tangent and I'm loving it, making these gorgeous little frames. There's something when when I filmed this, I took the sound off to kind of speed it all up for you. But when you I made these frames for Patreon. Well, for Patreon and for myself. They're not all given away to Patreon, but some of them were. And I had this idea that if I made little frames, it could be quite cute when you're doing a junk journal and you can put a little photo in. And it's turned out like so much better than I even thought. And I'm so happy, because you know, you have these ideas and you think, oh, it might work, it might not work, it might be a bit naff, I've no idea. But when you do it, you get your frame and you get the picture, and the instant you put like the picture in the frame, it suddenly makes the picture like 4 million times cuter. I mean, this is just a picture of some oranges in a bowl and like my kitchen table, like a really like normal scene. And as soon as you put it in this frame, it looks all fancy. I love it. And even this one, I mean, this is a picture. Hang on, let me zoom in. It's just a picture. My son folded his pajamas in the morning, and it was just the sweetest thing. He folded them really neatly. They teach him this at nursery school. I'm so grateful that they do this. And he doesn't normally do it. But that morning I'd said, oh, can you fold your pajamas? Thinking, you know, he might not actually do it. Went out of the room, came back in, and it's just cute. So I took a photo of it. And now I've got it in this cute frame. And then when I put it in my junk journal, it sort of makes it like extra super special. So I'm really pleased with this effect. This one I also really love. Like I just said, the little kitchen table. And these are just watercolour and ink on, it's quite thick watercolour card actually, so it feels quite sturdy. Yeah, and like this little snowman that, we hardly had any snow. We had like barely enough to do anything. Oops. So we made sort of a snow sausage with a little bucket on his head, but put it in a frame, and doesn't he look cute? So I've got sort of gone off on a tangent, made some frames, and I'm probably going to I'm going to finish the video there for today, because otherwise it's going to be crazy long. But I've got quite a few bits ready to go. I've done like quite a few sticking big bits in. Yeah, and I think I'll carry on later on with sticking sort of medium ones in. Wait for this glue to dry, it's still a bit sticky. And then I'm going to work out where to put all my little cute pictures in their frames. So I'm really pleased. So it's ridiculous. I was so nervous this morning about like getting started. Like, what if I can't junk journal? I mean, come on, it's just sticking stuff down, isn't it? But it's just, I really enjoy this process, and I just didn't want to like start it and then it not work, and then I feel sort of disheartened. So I'm really happy now. I've got all my cute bits to put in. So I'm going to end the video now because it's going to be like really long, and I want to get this out to you as soon as possible. And then I'll be back probably with another video, just finishing it off, I think, and yeah, sticking all the little bits in and maybe doing a bit of painting and doodling, I think. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye!